When you reach the 45,000 rupee mark in the smartphone market, you stop paying for basic functionality and start paying for an engineering philosophy. Right now, two heavyweights dominate this premium tier: the Nothing Phone 4a Pro and OnePlus 15R. Look at this configuration chart. For the top-end models with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, the difference in retail price shrinks to a microscopic 2,000 rupees. Because that cost is virtually identical, your decision cannot be based on budget. Instead, you are choosing between two completely opposing approaches to smartphone design. Nothing prioritizes aesthetic identity and sensory refinement. OnePlus relies entirely on brute force hardware capability. To figure out which approach actually fits your life, we must evaluate their specific camera output, raw compute power, and physical build quality. Choosing the wrong phone here means you will pay a premium for hardware you never touch, while sacrificing the daily features you actually need. The easiest way to split these two devices is by looking at the back of the phone. The Nothing Phone 4a Pro gives you a proper triple camera setup, while OnePlus restricts you to two lenses. That extra third lens on the Nothing Phone actually matters quite a bit because it houses a true 3.5x optical periscope system. Nothing uses that physical reach, combined with true-to-life color tuning, to capture 80mm portraits that are packed with natural detail. OnePlus, on the other hand, leans heavily on its software algorithms. When lighting drops, it applies an aggressive sharpening filter to create the perception of detail from its smaller 1x sensor, resulting in softer overall images when you look closely. But Nothing trades away a massive feature to get those great still photos. Its primary camera is entirely capped at 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. This is where OnePlus launches a massive counteroffensive. If you switch to video, OnePlus overpowers the 4a Pro by capturing 4K footage at up to 120 frames per second, backed by its vastly superior dynamic stabilization. OnePlus even extends that video superiority to the front of the phone, offering 4K selfie recording, a feature Nothing completely lacks. This sharp divergence in camera hardware forces a clear division. You are picking between the physical requirements of a classic photographer and the high frame rate demands of a modern vlogger. If your priority is still photography and zoomed portraits, the Nothing Phone 4a Pro wins easily. But if you capture action, motion, or vlogs, the OnePlus 15R is mandatory. When we shift away from the external lenses and look at the internal engines, we find a massive gap in raw processing power. This side-by-side breakdown tells the story.
OnePlus comes armed with a flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 processor, incredibly fast UFS 4.1 storage, and a massive 7,400 mAh silicon carbon battery. In real-world terms, that spec sheet allows the OnePlus 15R to utilize game frame interpolation and hold a nearly flawless 119 frames per second in highly demanding titles like Genshin Impact.
Compare that to the Nothing Phone 4a Pro, running a mid-tier Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 chip and a smaller 5,400 mAh battery. It struggles to maintain 52 frames per second in the exact same game. OnePlus also widens that endurance gap by dropping an 80-watt fast charger straight into the box, allowing you to top up that massive battery significantly faster. You do pay a physical tax for that battery size. The OnePlus chassis is noticeably thicker and heavier in the hand compared to Nothing's slimmer, lighter profile. OnePlus also provides a longer software runway, guaranteeing 4 years of operating system updates and 6 years of security patches, edging out Nothing's 3+6 promise. For raw math, OnePlus offers a multi-day, future-proof gaming powerhouse. In compute tasks, the Nothing Phone is mathematically outclassed. Specs on a chart are one thing, but how the phone physically responds to you every day comes down to durability, biometrics, and the screen you stare at. OnePlus delivers flagship-tier utility here. It brings an IP69K rugged durability rating, an instant ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, and richer, fuller stereo speakers. But Nothing counters that brute utility with a distinct aesthetic identity. The 4a Pro utilizes a transparent aluminum chassis, housing its signature glyph interface, giving you customizable physical light notifications that no other phone offers. This brightness gauge measures outdoor display visibility, and this is where Nothing strikes back hard. Its 144Hz OLED panel hits peak brightness levels that massively outshine the OnePlus under direct sunlight. However, you have to trade away media features to get that brightness. OnePlus retains native HDR support for Netflix, which means deeper contrast for your movies, a feature nothing lacks. That contrast extends to the software itself. You are choosing between Oxygen OS, which is packed tightly with scalable folders and AI editing features, against Nothing OS, which offers a highly customizable, minimalist dot matrix interface. OnePlus secures the win for indestructible, practical utility. Nothing takes the victory for brilliant outdoor screen visibility and head-turning artistic design. We have the camera output, the compute benchmarks, and the tactile hardware. Now let's answer the 45,000 rupee question. This decision matrix maps 6 daily workflows to exactly what these devices actually do best. The OnePlus 15R is built for the gamer, the power user, and the vlogger. By choosing it, you secure unmatched 119 frames per second gaming, true multi-day battery life, and superior video stabilization. But you accept that you will sacrifice high-quality zoom photography. The Nothing Phone 4a Pro is built for the photographer, the casual user, and the design enthusiast. By choosing Nothing, you get class-leading 80mm portraits, a brilliant screen that cuts through harsh daylight, and premium aesthetics. You trade away high-end compute speed to get it. Look at this matrix. Identify your primary daily workflow, ignore the rest of the spec sheet, and buy the tool that actually fits your life.